Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Once again, we had a piece that I told you was done, and I decided it's not done. Main thing I want to do is get like this foggy look out of the sky. Keep it down here in the water. And then we're going to do some other little things here and there, especially with the fog down here. Let's start. Get a fan brush. Alright, got a fan brush here. One of the things I do want to do, get a little highlight on the fog down here. Let's actually, forgot my matte medium, my matte pouring medium in there. I need a little of that. Okay. That might be a little bright. Let's get a little more of that. A little more of that magenta in there. I'm just kind of using this to determine where the fog can end. I'm gonna get a little 1-inch brush, Yeah, that wouldn't be a little too rough, I think. Get a 2-inch brush in here. Make sure it's dry, no paint in it. And just kind of soften that out. Pull a little toward the edge if you want. Pull it a little over the edge if you want. I mean, your paint. Your paint, kind of do it how you want. Then I think I also want a little bit of blue. Highlight in the fog as well. Just using that same fan brush. I'll also soften this blue out. Just kind of matching the sky colors a little bit. Clean that off. Clean my softening brush a little bit. And again, same thing. Leaving just a little bit fluff at the top. Blending out the bottom. Blend that a little more fluff than I wanted on this side. If you ever feel like it's too much, I'm just gonna dip. Do a little tiny bit of black paint on here. Blend it a little bit into that fog. I'll get a little touch more. Don't need a whole lot. Leaving a little bit of the blue in there. There we go. And now lastly, I'm just gonna take a little bit of green. And one more time, just kind of right in the middle here. That's a little too bright. Let's just go with some green in there. How about? There we go. Clean that. A little 2-inch brush. And again, fluff the color. Fluff that color up. And leave a little texture, just not a whole lot. And again, if you feel like you got too much color, and I did, I'm just gonna go back to the black and kind of pull it up into it. just wanted that to be just a little highlight on the, just a little highlight on the top of the fog there. And then soften out that, get a harsh border, you can soften it out. Okay. I think I like that. I'm going to a little more magenta. Some of these clouds here are too bright, I feel like, so. Just gonna go and adjust that magenta. And since we're covering up the fog, go ahead and bring it all the way out to the edge here. Maybe. Just, yeah, we are. We're gonna put, just use the corner, just the top of this fog we got here. Put a little more of the highlight, and just got a little dark, especially compared to the blue and green. And what this will do, create a little separation. I'm just gonna get a little smaller brush and just blend out the bottom of that a little bit, but not a whole lot. I'll leave that color on there. We can also blend it on up here some. A little white left in the brush over here, so we're just gonna go ahead and go back over that with some magenta. Maybe I'll get a little black on the corner. Tap that in a little bit so when we're softening it up, we can blend that magenta and black. We'll darken that value some. There we go. I like that. As you want. More of that bright magenta over here, though. I think it's just darkening a touch when it dries, when I pull it flat. So we need to leave a little more of the top on there. Okay, yeah. Magenta in here. And here. Let's get a little blending medium in there. This will definitely darken once it dries. That blending medium is an opaque white while it's wet, but it dries clear. So make it look brighter. Don't sweat that. When it dries, it'll look better. Go ahead and blend that out. A little texture in the clouds here and there, not a whole lot. Feel like I need some more. Oh, I see what I need to do here. Let's get a little bit of white in there. Extend those purple clouds out a little bit that we got behind our ship here. I'll get a little in there. Go ahead and get the big boy for this blend. Clean it out, make sure it's clean. We have a little bit of that lighter mauve. Let's get a little. You can just put a little bit of that here and there again on that sky. Your fan brush again. There. We can clean that brush. I'm going to just some regular magenta. A little bit here and there. Just for a little more contrast. Now I want to put some blue in there. Get some blue. Again, kind of the same thing, like pulling it out from where we already have it. Get little bits of it up here, and that mauve as well. Why not? Mauve, sorry. That magenta. And again, we're just fluffing it out. Now I think we definitely need to get a lighter mix going of that magenta. As these clouds, they keep getting pretty dang dark. So I'm just gonna get a little more white. I'm just kind of putting this on with the corner of the brush. Not using the whole brush just makes it easier to maintain the previous shapes and the like. I just want this a little bit brighter. Let's actually go ahead and get a little more color in on the water in some of these spots too. Okay. That brush. And I'll soften and blend in there. Again, I know it looks really bright right now, but based on our previous experience, I'm sure it's gonna darken up some by the time it dries. And try to get a little fluffier looking as well. Looks like a mist. Okay. It's a little too solid over there. So get that fan brush a little black. So we can fluff that some too. And then get a little, I want a little overkill in there. There, a little more of that mauve in there. Pinkish purple. Soften those edges some. Now we can decide, and I have decided that I want to add a little white to some of that blue. Just because this blue is so much darker, so we're just gonna kind of add a to it. Brighten it up just a touch. And heck, while we have that, let's get some green and white. Might have been a little too much white into that green. I'll darken it just a touch. And we'll just get a little more. Well, a little more green in that sky. A mirror down there. Down here. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of that bright blue right around these sails here. Separate them from the sky a little bit. Just create that little bit of separation so they stand out a little more. Get a little bit of that. We need more blue in there. Too much green left in the brush. Right there. And clean our fan brush. And get a little mauve. A little bit of that magenta. Here at the top. And just range. Separation from the sky. And I need that black was a little too dark, so I'm just gonna get a little bit of that magenta mixed with some black to cover that up. Okay. Now I feel like just creeping up this ghost ship a little bit. I'm gonna put a little light at the top, like there's a crow's nest up there and there's somebody manning it. Let's get a little more white into that green. Let's really brighten that up. Put a little dot in the middle. Then maybe there's a few little sailors that you can't see holding lamps, lanterns on the side of that ship. Another thing we can do with that, with some of this green, get a little blue in there too. Hints of rotting woodwork. There's more light coming through than you would expect. And that might be a little too much, so I'll just go into some black on that same brush. And this will also add a little texture to the wood. The same way there's texture in the sails. Use the palette knife to put that on. And oh, what the heck. We're just gonna put just a trace of some forms by those lanterns. And I'll get a little more color. Just a few more little. Oh, maybe there's some missing wood there. It wouldn't explain why there'd be color on the ship, but that's okay. That is okay. We don't need that explanation, do we? This is all about setting an eerie mood. Oh, heck. We're gonna put a lantern right up here as well. again. Put in just sort of a shapeless form right there as well. I'm gonna do a little more work on that fog over on this end. I like how this side looks a lot better. So let's get a little white again into that blue. Just kind of get a little more shape in there. For the most part, get a little misty look going. That blue didn't quite match, does it? I need more blue in there. It's a little too much white. There we go. That looks better. And we'll get this one going close to the edge as well. Clean my brush. Back into that magenta with a little bit of white. I'm just gonna kind of use the corner here. Just make it look a little fluffier. A little more shape like we got over on the other side. That was just a little too uniform. Okay. And again, I think we might have a little too much white. I'll get some black to blend in there again. A little more shaping. Soften that edge. Clean that brush. Just go into the magenta. Magenta in there. Go ahead and give it that same look over here. And then find a clean brush. And just, there's some color left in that one, that's all right. Give that fog almost a little bit of a sickly look to it, which I like. This piece. Get a little bit of dark blue. Just down in here. Just a little more. Just a little more color. I got a little too much blue bound under there, so again, just mix a little black, clean the brush, and go along the edge and feather it out. Some of the black down there is thick. We're just gonna, don't want too much texture on the ship since we have texture in the sails. Okay. More shade in some of the areas on this file. All right. Now, again, I do. Oh, no, I was about to tell you it's done. It's not done. You know what we need? Maybe we don't. You know what? No, yeah, we're gonna put just reflection. Some of those ghost lanterns in the water. Just not a whole lot. Of course, light works a little different on water. I didn't want that one down there. That's the fog. Get a little black. Can I go over that? You wouldn't see that one. That's fog. Okay. I think that one is too high up. We wouldn't see it. Little bits of reflection in the water there. Let's get, which brush do I want? Not you. Not you. Definitely not you. I'm gonna take this guy. I'm just gonna get more green. More green in that water. A little more green in the fog, I should say. Again, blend it in, blend it down, blend it in some. Clean that brush out. I'm not gonna use that one actually. I got a clean one here I can use. And we'll just fluff some of that up. Alrighty. Now, yeah, I think I am gonna call this one done. I do like. Nope, we're not gonna call it done just yet. Sorry. I get ahead of myself, I know. If any of you have spent any time at all watching me paint, you know I get ahead of myself. I want another area. Purple fog. Purple highlight on the fog, I should say, right about there. Alright, get that brush all dried out. And again, blend there. Blend that out a little better. Blend that out a little better. Alright. Now, I do believe. Now I do believe I am going to call it done. Set up what I wanted to do. Expand the sky out to cover the top of the canvas, get rid of that weird shape in the fog that almost looked like you were looking at a cave. Okay, now I'm not quite done. Let's go ahead. Since we got 2 rows of blue, 2 rows of purple, let's get just another little row of green right there. All right, but okay, now I'm gonna stop messing with it and call it done. As I was saying, fill the sky back out. We got some ghostly lights on the ship with some ghostly little figures there. Added some more color to the fog to kind of match the sky. Just overall a little more colorful, still kind of that same creepy vibe. But I like the sky better. I like the fog on the water better. I just think overall it's a more interesting looking piece to look at. Again, obviously not going for photoreal. I'm just trying to set a vibe. And I think I did that. I think I got the vibe I wanted in there. And I hope you enjoyed watching me paint. If you were watching, hoping to learn something, then I hope you did. If you were just watching to relax, then I hope it did the trick. We'll be back soon with another piece. You all have a great day today and an even better one tomorrow. Goodbye.